Hello and welcome to Studio Nicole. I am Nicole and I'm so glad that you're here. Today, I am inviting you into my incredibly messy space here. I know you can't really see to the side, but it's just as messy in either direction. And um, it's probably not gonna it's probably not gonna get any better today or in the near future because um I've kind of gone down a rabbit hole with this project and I don't know. There's no end in sight and I'm excited about that. So I'm just gonna run with it. I'm gonna take that energy and keep going. I started this project as part of BB Bash, which was like an online art workshop, and it was 2 weeks long, and it is over, like officially. Although I signed up for the Beyond portion of the workshop so that you can keep the all the pieces of it, like you have lifetime access. So I can come back to it. But I actually did a surprisingly good job of keeping up with the prompts and the timing. I didn't expect to, but I did mostly. Not great, and I'm not finished. But I've created all of these papers. So this stack here on my desk is it is a very extensive stack. There are more here. I'm kind of keeping them separate because I want to do different things with these different piles. But I have another stack here of several papers, and I have a few more here. And um, I so far these are all just the Franken papers and the blank pages that I made. I never, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I never actually used anything out of my little bin of coordinating papers that I picked out in anticipation of this project. So I still have a ton of material, and I feel like I have enough paper here to make 5 journals when it's all said and done. So I do have a few ideas. I think these are the ones that I really like. I showed these in a recent short, and I think I might frame these. Um, Especially this one. God, I love that one so much. Okay, so these are the ones I really like just as is, and I don't really want to do anything else with them. These are the ones that I don't like, that I don't think are finished at all, and that need um, a lot more of something. And so what I, excuse me again, so sorry. So what I started doing with with this pile, is I started kind of adding, I've got 2 different examples here. This one, I just did some circles and then I filled in around those circles with black paint. And then there's like an outline in whiteout pen. And I don't know what I'll do with this, but it's better like this than when it was, like this. Like there's at least a little bit more interest to it. It feels a little bit more finished in some way. And then I did the same thing with hearts because yesterday was Valentine's Day. And so I was having a blast with these hearts. And this one I did with white paint. And a lot of the inks and stuff kind of seeped up through the white. So we've got some sort of mottled like pink areas, and I just love it. I think it turned out really nice. I used a Stabilo all pencil to go around the hearts, and I haven't wet it yet, but I could. Let's see what that does. Because like when you get it wet, then it like activates the pencil. Ooh, and then it gets like really like blurry and like kind of like that. It's definitely different. It gives it like the whole thing like a sort of different feeling, sort of like that. It's more intense when it's wet, like, but then when it dries, it sort of um becomes more subtle. So I don't know. I'm gonna set this aside and just see what happens with it, because now the black is sort of like pooling in some of the hearts. All right, I don't know. I'm gonna set it over here. So this pile, these are the ones that I really like how they are turning out, and um, I don't know what I want to do. Help me figure this out. Somebody tell me what to do with them. A I want to make a journal. So I think I'm going to do that. I have started kind of adding some like focal elements. So these, for example, are just I had one page that it was like more of this brown paper that I wasn't really loving by itself. So I punched some of these out with my just circle punch, and I started kind of arranging it. This one, I just put it on another page that I didn't really love, and I added some like white in the background to make the colors pop a little bit more. So this is kind of just an interesting treatment. Like it's um a page, I don't know, maybe with some words on it. And then I did this one. It was one of these whole pages, but I just thought it needed like a little bit more focus, and so I added three more of these onto this page. And I, again, whoops, did some white around the edges, um just to give it some kind of like finished, some foreground, right? We want to like pull some things out and create some foreground, push some things into the background. I really i really do think that together these, some of these pages could make an excellent journal. I love the idea of putting all of these together in a journal, but they are very, very vibrant and very busy. Most of these pages are. And so I would need to kind of alternate with something a little calmer. I feel like I would need to work in some pages that are like a little bit more like this is an envelope, but together um you definitely got a little bit more. I wonder if it could be something like this. See, this works a little bit better for me because we have some blank space to kind of bump up against all of this. I don't know. I don't know exactly yet. I will say in the workshop, I think it becomes like a ring bound journal with like a ring at the top, and then the pieces all kind of like fold up like this. And it is a smaller size, so I definitely could tear these pages down and make this a smaller size if I wanted to. Um, or I could make a couple of different ones. Really, I could make some bound journals and I could make some ring bound journals. There are just the pages don't stop. Like there are so many pages, and I don't know. I love them so much. I don't know what to do with them all. I feel like these are maybe some more that need to go in this other pile. So I'm just really enjoying this whole process. So even though I probably have a bunch of other projects I could be working on, these are all over my desk. I have been going back in and just like building up the layers of color. The other day I went in with more of this blue, and I added in blue on almost every page because I just was loving this vibrant blue. I was using golden phthalo blue. And so the blue found its way onto almost every page. And then the blue was so vibrant that some of the pinks from before were kind of muted. I was getting, let me see if I can find the difference. So I was getting this kind of very muted pink. It just wasn't super vivid. So then I went back in yesterday with this Bombay Magenta India ink, um, Dr. Paige Martin's Bombay ink, and I added this this like bright, vivid ink to several of the areas on each piece just to add another layer to the pink. So now we do have kind of like the pink that is soaked in and that's a little bit more muted, but then we also have this really, really vibrant kind of pink that's sort of jumping off the page. So I have gone back and forth. Sometimes I go in with some black ink or some black stenciling. I've done white writing. I've done some dots. I did a whole series of these like little white dots with the whiteout pen to just continue to add detail and build these pages up. So what I thought I could do today is there's a couple of things I want to experiment with a couple of these pages. And I want to just see kind of what I'm doing. Like what can I add to this process? I have a few of these left, these little punched out circles. And this envelope it looks like it was a Christmas card actually, and it went out in the recycling, but somehow it managed to find its way out of the recycling bin and ended up in our yard. And my husband picked it up out of the driveway recently, because I guess it had, blown across the yard somewhere, or got caught in a bush or something. It's very water damage from being outside under the snow. And so I brought it in and dried it, and I'm going to use it because I love it. And, okay. I guess it's weird. Is it weird that I'm using like actual garbage? This is not the first time that I will use paper garbage. Like, I feel like if it's, it's fair game. I don't know. I'm kind of trying to arrange these across this in a way that just brings just a little bit of interest to this. And I'm obviously covering up like the writing part. I did go in ahead of time with my whiteout pen and kind of blur out the address, but now I'm going to cover it up also with these circles. I wish that my sewing machine was working, because I think this would be like the perfect opportunity to just put some stitches like straight up and down this page, right through these circles. I could totally see like some zigzag stitches just going up and down through these two lines of embellishments. I think that would be perfect. But my sewing machine is not working, sadly. And we don't have a sewing machine shop here in town anymore. I wish that we did, because I would love to get my sewing machine up and working again. But at this point, I've had a couple of people, not like a official sewing machine shop people, but just a couple of people who were like, I've been sewing for years, I could fix your machine. And I'm, totally all for that. But I've had a couple of those folks try to look at it, and it doesn't go anywhere, unfortunately. Like I get it back, and then it immediately goes back to doing exactly what it was doing before. So I think I need like an official repair. Wonder if I could do some hand stitching. I don't really. I've got this embroidery thread. I'm just looking. I could go digging around and try to find something else, but this is right here. It's very red. I just want to see. Like, I mean, it kind of pulls the same color right here as this, really the darker. All right, that's a little more pink. I don't know. I think it works. Let's give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? I don't love it, and oh well. It's, I'm not, I'm not over here building a nuclear, uh, machinery or anything. Like, it's art. Who cares? Except now I can't find the end. Somewhere in here is the end of a piece of thread. All right, just going to cut this off. Yeah, I'm working on like week 2 of the sinus crud. It's better than it was. Actually, this past Monday, I was pretty convinced that I was over it, and I was very excited to be done with it. Because the first week of it was a bad one. Like it hit really hard, and it was just it was a tough hang. Um, and then I thought it was fine. Like Monday and Tuesday, I felt okay. And then it just started like coming back. I don't know if it's another bug like right on the heels of the first one, or if the first one I wasn't quite over yet. I'm not sure, but either way, I don't love it. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do just like I'm not gonna do any fancy anything, but I'm just gonna like try. How do I want to do the end? I don't know. I'll figure it out. This paper is kind of brittle from like it's crunchy from being like outside and being in the rain and in the water, but we're gonna try it. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna tape this piece on the back and hopefully that will like hold it um, and it won't peel up. All right, and like come through. So we'll see if that works. Can you tell I am an expert at almost nothing? Everything I do is just an experiment. I'm like, I don't know. Let's see if this works. Okay, now the problem with that is that now I can't really get in here. And I am trying not to sew both sides of the envelope together in case I want to use it as an envelope, like to tuck something in. Uh, okay, new plan. Because this tape on the bag is definitely holding it, but it is making it really difficult for me to navigate like in here, the other side. So I'm just going to change that. I'm definitely not centered on these circles, kind of veering off to one side. But this is harder than I expected it to be. I was like, oh, this will be easy. Like, boop, boop, boop. It is definitely not that. I don't know. Maybe I need to do one stitch at a time instead of trying to do several. Maybe that's the key. Or maybe I need to like cut this open at the bottom and then just glue it or tape it back together later. That might help too. I'm just cutting across the bottom, just the thinnest little margin, just so I can open the bottom of the envelope up and perfect. Now I can kind of work through here. So much easier. And then I'll just, like I said, I can just glue or tape that later. Okay. Okay. I don't even think I'm gonna take I don't even think I want to take the thread off of the needle. I'm just gonna like move over to this one and start going up a second line. Just keep it going. And that piece will be on the inside, so you won't be able to tell that it's all one. This one is harder. This one is on cardstock, and so it's definitely not coming through easily. My envelope is getting even more crunched up than it was before. It's a good thing I'm not worried about that. So, is everybody surviving February? I find this a difficult time of the year. I have seasonal affective disorder, and um, surprisingly, August is tough for me, which is weird. I think it's purely psychological. Because we still have plenty of sunlight and plenty of warmth in August, but it's like I don't know, it just feels like winter is coming. It feels like August is like the end of summer, and like I really just get like the worst um like anticipation of winter. It's the worst. Um And then September and October are okay because I'm really enjoying like the weather and the fall, and there's lots of stuff to do and I stay busy, and then Christmas is coming and I love Christmas, so that helps me get through and I have lots to look forward to and I stay busy, um and then with January we have the start of the semester and we're getting things going and it's a new year and I have lots of like new year, new project energy. I do a new project list. I don't know, February though, February is the worst. It may not be oh, I thought I lost my thread for a second, but here we go. Okay. So that was a whole long time to do maybe nothing. I don't know. Is this worth all of the time that I spent to do it? I thought I had tape somewhere. I'm just gonna tape the inside, tape the end of this thread down. All right, so here's what I have. I have I do like the stitches. It's maybe not what I envisioned. Like a zigzag stitch from the sewing machine, I think would have given a totally different like vibe. So this isn't what I had initially thought, but I like it. I think that it gives some interest to this page so that it does feel like if this were in a journal and this were like a facing page, I feel like there's some cohesion here. We've got these same colors. I would like to do more stitching, but again, the hand stitching is really, a hassle. So I will probably not do a lot of it. I will do some, I think. There are certainly some places on here where hand stitching, I think, would pay off, like to combine these two pages together to just do like a simple line of stitches up and down along here. I should be using a thimble probably. And I do like this color. I think that it's a good color. It pulls things out. I don't need my stitches to be particularly straight. I kind of like it better when they're not. So this one is a little bit more, this is a little bit of a faster stitch. I'm going to run out of thread before too long. I don't need to do too many of them. Just a few. One's a little close to the. All right, so that's what I've got. I just have some very wonky stitches holding these like two pieces of this Franken paper together, and then it kind of like the color sort of leads us up into this really vibrant red or pink. I love it. And then I'm not even, well, I don't want to lose that. I'm not even gonna, should I tie it? I wasn't even gonna tie it, but maybe I should just tie a knot here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the back of this, or if it's gonna end up in a journal where it's gonna get a lot of, where it'll come loose easily. Like I don't know what's happening here, so I'll do a knot, and then I'll tape it down. Just to hold that in place so it doesn't come untied. So that's what it looks like on the back, and that's what it looks like on the front. So I could absolutely see myself doing some very short, small stitching like this. I think that could add some great detail to some of these pages, and maybe again pull things together, cohesiveness. But yeah, I don't know. So I might just leave this, other than the fact that I do want to glue the bottom of the envelope back down. I'm going to just run a quick little bead of glue along the bottom here. Well, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Is my glue all stopped up? What's happening? This is probably not the appropriate way to do this. So, don't Don't stab yourself. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. I'm not even getting air out. So it must be completely stopped up. All right, let me try this other one instead. This one, I used it yesterday and it did work, but it is also like on the process of getting stopped up. So I'm not getting good glue flow, but it's better than no glue flow. So here we go. All right. Store that upside down. All right, just taping the or gluing the bottom together so that it can still act as an envelope. And I can still tuck things in it. I do like that element. Like we could put, try and find one that'll fit. If we could put something in it. This is maybe not the best example. I don't know if I like those colors. Yeah, I definitely am thinking. So I don't think it's going to be this one. Maybe something that's going to go in a little bit more easily. I want to tear this. This is kind of getting in the way, so I'm going to tear it off. Let me see if this one will work. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing today, guys. I'm just kind of playing around. I just have all this stuff on my desk and I'm trying to figure out ways to put it together and make it work. I like this one better. It's a little bit sturdier. This piece is really like floppy, which makes it hard to get in and out of the envelope. But this has a nice heavy piece of thicker paper on it. So it works, it holds steady better. And I feel like this could make like a tag almost. I don't love this end of the paper here anyway, so I have no problem just tearing it off. Let's see. I'm just gonna tear that off like that. And then we've got this piece that sort of fits in here. How much of that? What if I'm trying to make it into like a tag. So it's got that like tag shape. I know it's really big to be a tag, but and now we have like this, and then I could hole punch it. If I can find my hole punch, I can hole punch it here. So it's centered. Good enough. And what can I do? I mean, this embroidery thread, I think, is not going to work because, first of all, it's too similar to this, and it's also not like big enough. You need something like a little bit more, to take up a little bit more room. Not room, like visual space. Okay. Let me get this. I've got some ribbon and some things in here. There is some pink tulle. I mean, that would certainly give us like oh, there went my hole punch. I think I'm liking this. Okay, let's just do it. I'm gonna cut some of this off and stuff it back in here. All right, I'm gonna tie this into this is a lot of tulle, and I may not end up wanting that much. Do I want it to be less? Okay, this is a little bit better. Let me see if I can pull up some blank-ish paper and kind of like see what that looks like. Uh-oh. No, I tore it. Wah, wah. It's okay. Oh, I can fix this. I have these ones. Oh, knock that over. Okay. These have been sitting on my desk. They're underneath my like cutting mat and they have been here forever. And uh these are pages of like hole protectors that I laid down and glued really lightly to a piece of printer paper. So just regular plain printer paper. And you can kind of see there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these glued onto the page, and then I ran it through my printer with like some pages. I think this looks like a jelly print maybe that I did, or a collage page that I have done. So I ran it through and I printed on these hole protectors. So this is not a problem. I will just fix it with a couple of hole protectors. I've actually done this with several different designs because I think these are absolutely just the funnest. Like that funnest is not really, it's not really a word, guys. Take it from the English teacher. Funnest is not a word. Um, I guess I just get, here's another one. And this one has 6 different pieces. And then I kind of did different designs in the background. So I've got different colors. This one is like a Renaissance painting, and this is like some galaxies and stars. And then I've got some really bright, like oranges and yellows on this one, on this corner. Um, so you can just lay these out, and they really are like you just buy the sheets, right? And then I just laid them onto paper with a glue stick and glued them down, and then ran the whole thing through my printer. The ink doesn't stick very well to the plastic part in between, so then you just get it printing mostly only on the hole protectors themselves, and then you can use them, uh, to protect holes, or you can use them on other pages. Like I'm sorry, I'm getting off track here, but since I have these right here in front of me, like I might use these black ones and like add them right on. One more, right? So you can just add them right onto a page and they just make like awesome accents. The most fun, the most fun accents. So, yeah, I might keep these out and use these some more because I like to have cohesive elements around my page. So I might keep those out because they would work pretty well in some other places. Okay, so back to this. My let's see. Now I need to untie this tool and then retie it. I was just trying to straighten the ends, and that's apparently what I get for trying to straighten anything. All right, we're at 32 minutes. Are we actually accomplishing anything? Um, you know, I don't think we need to accomplish something like at all times. I think we're just fiddling around with some stuff and coming up with some ideas. I had no idea before I started that this was where this was going to go, but I like it. And I've got this in here. And I could, if I wanted to, write on the back or do something. So this is going in the pile. I love it. While I have this on here, I want to look in here and see like what else do I have that I could maybe do something with. I don't know. I do like that paper. But see, this something like this where it's blue but it's embossed. So it feels neutral visually, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not boring in terms of neutral. So, like, this might be a good facing page for something like this. It really brings out these, like, super deep blue components, but it would be nice, maybe, to have these pages, like, bump up against each other. I'm thinking about a couple of different things. I'm thinking about a ring-bound journal that flips up. I'm thinking also about a long, skinny journal. Not, not really. Mm, let me find an example. So this is one that I made. This is a scrap journal. It's very scrappy and it's kind of falling apart, but I have just these tiny little pages. And so each page is like long and skinny, even though when you fold those pages into signatures, they don't they don't end up looking that way. So I thought that maybe these papers, if I tear them down into sort of strips, like half page, if I go this way with it and tear it this way so that I have like these long page pieces, then they fold and would become like pages. Then I have to contend with the backs of my pages because they would be I haven't done anything with really any of the backs of any of these papers. Um, so the backs are definitely unfinished. Maybe I could face them on each other, or I could face them on to neutrals, right? So if I put the neutral on the back, then it would be like a neutral page up against this is a good idea. I might do this. Although I think I would need thinner facing paper. Like I would have to use just, I don't want to use like cardstock or anything heavy or embossed. At least not for every page. Like I might be able to use a few of papers like that, but I probably would be better off with something like this instead that is much easier to manage. Okay, so this is an idea. I'm liking this, right? So then we would have a page that would look like this. I could get behind that. That would work. I do think, as I said earlier, that I have enough paper here to make like several journals. So I could try a couple of different ways to do things and see what I like. Oh, I love this. I'm gonna do something with that. Um, I like both of these pieces. This is just like fiber paper. It's got like some fibers in it, but I love the pink of it. And I have, all right. I don't know what I'm doing. So if you guys were hoping for a plan today, I'm so sorry to disappoint you. No, I'm looking for a piece that would lend itself well to having this very square, I mean, it's not square, it's a rectangle, but it's very rigid, the shape, very straight edge, um, square on it. And then, you know what would look good would be some more of those punched circles. I don't have any more that are punched out of the paper, but I have some white ones just to like see. What I don't love about this though is that now I have like this repeating shape here and this repeating shape here. It feels like it's too much for this page. So I need this that's very orderly to be on a page that doesn't already have a lot of order. I don't know. The only reason I pull this out is because this shape is calling to this shape. And so if I do that, then it looks almost like a frame. Like this black paper in the background becomes a frame for this pink. But the pink is not super vibrant on top of the black. Like the black makes it more muted versus putting it over here where you get a brighter pink. I do like that the circles kind of pull across these circles, right? So you've got some repetition, but I don't think this is the right page either. Just gonna keep looking. This one is pretty messy. It does have these repeating shapes on it, but maybe I could cover that up because I don't really like them. They're not like my favorite part of this page. Oh no, I don't know. I just don't think that's gonna work. That's still a no. So this is what I call auditioning, folks. Like I don't know exactly what I want to do or how I want to do it. I just start pulling elements together and then see how it turns out. There's a contender. No, no. Oh, maybe this one. All right, so this one doesn't really have, it's got some circles, which might play well with this, especially if I turn it this way. I don't love this brown, so the chance to maybe cover some of it up could be good. And I do like I like these circles, pulling these circles across, and there's not much happening on the page. So this is so far my best option. There are a few things that I don't love about it though. I don't have enough blue on this page. There's only a little bit here, and it if I do this, which I feel like this is my placement, then I'm covering up what little blue there is. I could add some more to the page. That's always an option. Um, I don't know that I love the pink on top of the brown. Again, it becomes not very vibrant, but we could do like a whole layering sort of thing where I do like a frame of white and then the pink and then the white circles and all of that on top of the brown, which I like that. But let me just try this other one before I decide because I did also pull this one out as a contender. I kind of like this. No, not enough. Okay, that's it. All right, I'm gonna do this. I have this. This is just like calendar page off my desk. I just when I'm done with them, I rip them out and bring them home. I'm going to glue this down. Yeah, and give myself just a little bit of a white border around here. I'm gonna glue these white ones down. I wasn't planning on using these. I cut them out um, to use them as a mask so that I could paint some circles, and I wanted something to like so I'd have like a good circle shape to use. But since they're on my desk, let's go. And they're different materials. Two of them are watercolor paper and one of them is cardboard. So up close, there is some different texture to the circles. So that's something. Can't really pick that up, I think, on camera, but in person, there's some subtle texture. Just cutting it out. So now I've got this white frame. It looks a little bit like a plug, except there's three of them instead of two. But now, how about that? Um, I don't know. It's different. It's not what I thought I was going to do with this page. It's not what I thought I was going to do with any of it, but let's just stick it down and we'll see how it goes. I probably should not be using glue stick for this. I probably should use a heavier glue, but I'm going to use what I've got. All right. So this is, I do, it feels like it's crooked. I do like that these circles here sort of echo the circles going down here. There wasn't enough going on in the background that this is taking away. Instead, this is like adding a focal element. I also do like that the lines sort of in this stencil sort of line up with the lines here, the interior line. Then we've got this line happening here, this line here, this line here. We've got a line here. So we really have some like a grid sort of happening. So everything feels like it's aligned. We've got these going this way, this going this way. But then we also have these very organic color shapes. All right, I like this page. I don't know if it feels finished. I feel like I still need to do something, like maybe handwriting across the circles, or I'm seeing like black, sketchy handwriting. Let's just do it. All right. So I love it. I think that that's exactly what it needed, right? Just that little bit of handwriting there. All right. I think I'm going to end this video here. We're almost at 45 minutes, which is way too much time to sit here and just watch me fiddle around and do nothing really productive. But I did sort of come to put some interest on this page, and we did get this envelope stitched with this interesting little tag. I've got some tulle and some page protectors, not page protectors, quill protectors. So I kind of remembered that I had these and dug them out, and maybe I'll use them in some other pages. Um, so, this is how the project goes sometimes. Like you just do a little bit here and a little bit there, and slowly it comes together over time. I never sit down and expect to get something finished all in one sitting. It's maybe other people do. That is not how I create. It's not how my mind works. So, I hope that's not too frustrating for you as an audience member watching this and wishing that I would just like get it done already. I feel like I don't have good energy when I'm like focusing on finishing a project. So this is kind of what I was thinking when I pulled this out. So I'm not really going to do anything with this, except that I think I want to cut an edge off and maybe just attach it to a page that's got some background. So maybe I'll use a stapler here. And all right, I love that the staples are blue too, so they kind of add to the page. And yeah, and so now we've just got the page, but we have sort of this frame. I don't know if I like this black and white at the top. I might just color that a little bit so that it is not like so stark white. I don't know why that's bothering me, but I don't love it. So we're just gonna fix it super quick. Just gonna fix that right there. Um, Maybe we'll put a little of that color in here so it shows up. There we go. All right, so that's gonna dry, and that's what I've got. And I'm pretty happy with it. I do like some of the white over here. I just for some reason didn't like that pattern. Just it took away from the focus of this butterfly. So, all right, so I've done a few little detail pages, and I'm going to leave it at that. And I appreciate you coming along with me. If you have any ideas or suggestions for any of these other pages or what I can do with them, I would love to hear your comments. Thank you for subscribing if you're already a subscriber. And if you aren't a subscriber, then please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in a future video. All right, folks, thanks so much. I'll see you later.